Chris Heidkamp. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your starting lineups. At forward for Mounds View, 6'4" senior, number 23, Dusty Becker. At forward for Brainerd, 6'3" junior, number 40, Al Steer. At forward for the Mustangs, 6'4" senior, number 34, Brad Johnson. At forward for the Warriors, 6'5" senior, number 44, Matt Pekarich. At center for Mounds View, 6'7" junior, number 50, Jason Ekman. At center for Brainerd, 6'6" junior, number 50, Kyle Smith. At guard for the Mustangs, 6'1" sophomore, number 32, Mark Kronsky. At guard for the Warriors, 5'10" senior, number 12, Brian Gustafson. At guard for Mounds View, 6'3" senior, number 44, Dave Radkovich. At guard for Brainerd, 6'2" senior, number 30, Aaron Leckband. The head coach of the Mustangs is Zigard Cowles. The head coach of the Brainerd Warriors is Bill Heidkamp. Ladies and gentlemen, your officials for this game are Ron Hammond and Jim Weinzerl. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise for the presentation of the colors. The colors will be presented by the United States Marine Corps Color Guard.
Yeah, I got him on 4. What on for?
We ask you to please remain standing and honor America as the Brainerd High School Band, under the direction of Paul Melby, leads us in our national anthem.
Color Guard will walk the colors of the United States and of the U.S. Marine Corps off the center court area, and in just a couple of minutes we'll be ready to go with the opener of our AA quarterfinal. The Brainerd Warriors, 16-9, the champions of Region 8 AA, and the Mounds View Mustangs, the champs of Region 4 AA, under Ziggy Cowles at 22-4. Welcome to wall-to-wall basketball as we get set to go. Along with Ian Carlson and Jim Gilliland, this is Doug McLeod at the St. Paul Civic Center. And Ziggy Cowles with a team that has come in here with but 4 losses all year long. They boast, as Ian was mentioning at the top of the telecast, all Metro guard and forward Dusty Becker, their only returning starter from last year.
We saw Bill Heitkamp a minute ago, second-year coach at Brainerd, and there are the lineups. Mounds View concerned a little bit as we get it going here about depth in the post. They think Brainerd has more big people they can bring off the bench, and they want to keep Jason Ekman out of foul trouble.
Jason Ekman, number 50, in the white of the Mounds View Mustangs on the left of your screen. At 6'6", jumping Kyle Smith, the 6'6" junior center of the Warriors. Brainerd has the ball to start, and Brian Pekarich is there. They go to the point for Gustafson. Brian Gustafson, a 5'10" senior guard, works them out high. Leckband, Gustafson around. Pekarich for three. Didn't go, and it's pulled off underneath by number 23, Dusty Becker of the Mounds View Mustangs. Becker averaging nearly 20 points a game. Where's number 23? The inside for Rodkowicz. And Dave Rodkowicz gets the Mounds View Mustangs on. 23 seconds into the ballgame. 2-0, the Mustangs lead. Brainerd's Al Steer, number 40. Nothing inside. Carriage for Brian Gustafson, and the Warriors get set up.
The matchup zone, it looks like, Ian, for Mounds View. 1-3-1.
Yeah, I see Mounds View coming out in a real strong defense. They're not letting any just easy shot off. They're playing some good D, I think.
I think that's a good strategy maybe early in the tournament. Make them hit some shots from outside when maybe they're a little bit jittery at the outset.
Inside for Brainerd, Al Steer, popped short. Dragged out by Dave Rodkowicz, and the Mounds View Mustangs work it back down on the left side. Johnson around for Becker.
And a man for Brainerd. And they've got to be conscious of Becker on the outside, Ekman on the inside. Two leading scorers for the Mustangs.
Mark Wronski inside for Jason Ekman. That didn't pan out at all. And the Brainerd Warriors will turn it back down as Aaron Leckband, 6'2" senior forward, averaging 10.6, brings it down. Smith got it. Kyle Smith for the Brainerd Warriors, and it's a 2-2 game.
Brainerd getting off, that helps them quite a bit. Mounds View can play either kind of style. They had a low-scoring game with Anoka in the region finals, but they like to play up-tempo when they can. Brainerd has a great balance. I would imagine they're a little bit hard to defend in that every guy out there shares the offensive load.
Out of bounds, it goes to Mounds View with 5:49 to go in the first quarter. And there's a break in the action from our Class AA quarterfinal lid lifter at the Civic Center. Brainerd and Mounds View, deuce apiece. We'll be right back. Just underway in our AA quarterfinal opener, Brainerd 2 and Mounds View 2 at the St. Paul Civic Center. And hello to everyone joining us on our state tournament television network today. All of you watching along on TV6 in Austin, KAAL. And howdy to everybody on KEYC TV in Mankato. We're delighted to have you with us from the St. Paul Civic Center. First, we'll be along with Class A action as their quarterfinals get underway in about 15 minutes. In white, it's the Mounds View Mustangs in this 2-2 game in the early going, and number 50 is Jason Ekman out at the point.
A little man-to-man pressure for Brainerd in the backcourt didn't seem to bother the Mustangs too much. Dusty Becker taking his guy inside. Looks like he wants to try to get some business done down the low post.
Steer gambled. Wronski's open. He got it. Three-pointer for Mark Wronski for Mounds View, and the Mustangs climb to a 5-2 lead. 5:17 to go in the first quarter. Now Brainerd. Here's Brian Pekarich, number 44. Brian Gustafson, they go to the right side. Steer over the crowd. Tip, yes! Underneath for Brian Pekarich. And it's 5-4. Brainerd Warriors pull to a point. Dusty Becker for the tray. Off the iron and the rebound underneath. Comes to Steer. Bombs away. Pekarich on the pump. And they'll blow the whistle there. Question is at what point?
Okay, and it looked like a good play by Pekarich that time. If he goes straight up, the big guys are coming after it, but he drew the foul.
I think he drew the right thing. He got the foul. He got the guy now with the foul, and they're going to probably get him into trouble, I think, a little earlier.
That was Mark Wronski, number 32 for Mounds View, who drew the foul.
The only thing he didn't do, of course, was if he'd been in the act of shooting, he would have got 2 shots, but it's a pass in for the Warriors.
This is number 44, Brian Pekarich. Open, the pump in the lane, Steer. In comes Gustafson, and Steer will nail it from the right side. Al Steer, the junior forward, as the Brainerd Warriors Warriors climb into a 6-5 lead with 4:20 to go in the first quarter. That didn't work out, but it was tipped out of bounds, so it worked out anyway for the Mounds View Mustangs. They'll play it in under the bucket.
Becker looks a little bit out of sync right now. The one shot he did take, he was a little off balance there, having just gotten free from his man. And I would think that they'll be looking to both of their two leading scorers, averaging nearly 20 points a game. Or in Ekman's case 20 and Becker's 19-4, haven't scored yet.
I think they got jitters right now early in the game, but as the game goes on, I think it's going to relax a little more and become a better game.
Brad Johnson's shot was in and out, and a foul coming down, I think, on Gustafson of Brainerd, number 12. In the lineup now, Brian Trost, number 35, for Mounds View.
Gustafson doesn't like it much. There, as you see him, that isn't the foul call there, but it's there, coming over the corner of the arm of Brad Johnson. Pass in for the Mustangs again.
I'm sorry, it's 25, Monty Boken in the lineup now. Monty Boken, number 25, six-man now for Mounds View. That's Boken for three. Didn't go, and underneath the foul. Both got there simultaneously.
Now it looks like it's going to go against Dusty Becker. You can see good position there that time by Pekarik.
Two team fouls now on the Mounds View, one on Brainerd. As the Brainerd Warriors bring it down, leading in the game by a score of 6-5, 3:49 to go in the first quarter. For Karich, here's Gustafson. Floated it over for Smith. Now in the circle, a little up and down for Aaron Leckband. And Brainerd pulls away a little bit more. It's 8-5, the Warriors by 3.
Again, that balance for Brainerd. All five guys are capable of scoring and look to take the shot when they get open against the zone.
Yeah, I think they're moving the ball well also and getting the open shot.
Dusty Becker wheels, pumps, watch the foot. Out to the left now for Johnson, up and off. And the rebound goes to Brainerd's Kyle Smith. Picked off right by the paint by Brad Johnson of Mounds View. And Dusty Becker brings the Mustangs right back down again. Ryan Gustafson in his face. There's Becker guarded by Aaron Leckband, number 30, for the blue-clad Brainerd Warriors. Underneath, Ekman didn't go, but the foul was called on the way up on Brian Gustafson of Brainerd. There's a break in the action with 2:37 to go in the first quarter. Our opening AA quarterfinal game of the day. It's the Brainerd Warriors 8 and the Mounds View Mustangs 5. We'll be right back.
Back at the Civic Center, Brainerd leads Mounds View early, 8-5. The Mustangs trying to solve the first-round jinx that bothered them last year. Of course, they played against a very good Owatonna team and lost. Ian Carlson, you were here last year with the Jaguars of Jefferson, and I would dare say, probably favored in that first game against Fergus Falls. It's tough to go out there and play well right away, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's real discouraging when you come off a loss like that and you come out all jittery and wanting to win, and I think that'll put a factor on any team.
It's just the way things are. You only have one game to get settled, and if you're not prepared or you're not on your game, you're out if the other team takes advantage of it.
Jason Ekman gets a pair from the free throw line for Mounds View, and now it's a one-point game. Brainerd with the ball and the lead late in the first quarter, 2:32 to go in quarter number 1.
Well, there's the second foul on Dusty Becker early, and the bench is letting him know, too, right away that you've got to watch it. Jim Horn, the assistant coach, let him know. So 2 minutes to go in the quarter, and that will take away some of his defensive aggressiveness.
I think that Mounds View is not letting them any shot off. That's a clear shot. They're going for all block shots, I think, and they're going to make them shoot outside if they're going to take a shot.
Brainerd, as you said earlier, Ian, doing a good job, though, of moving the ball and getting the zone to flex a little bit. They've penetrated it a couple of times and got some good shots.
There's Ekman inside, and I was just about to say, if they do work inside, he's their post-up player of choice, and Jason Ekman gets a pair there. It's 9-8 Mounds View back in the lead. Brainerd Warriors with the ball. Tate Lillimo, number 20 in the lineup now for the Warriors. Here's Pekarik, and that is Lillimo, 6-foot junior guard. 9-8 Mounds View. Brainerd to the ball, 1:51 to go in the first quarter. Inside, it is Steer. Underneath for Pekarich, didn't go. Pekarich again. Off the iron, and Jason Ekman picks it clear.
Ekman's doing a great job. He's controlling the inside right now, and he's staying out of foul trouble.
Becker double team. And Johnson high for Monty Boken. Here's Ekman on the high post. And the rebound comes to Brian Pekarich of Brainerd. 1:13 to go in the first quarter. 9-8 Mounds View leads in our opening AA quarterfinal game. We'll be swinging it over to Williams Arena for Class A ball in just a little while as that bracket gets underway. They dish up for Steer, and it goes off the rim. Ekman the rebound again, the 6'6 junior. And number 25, Monty Boken, brings him down, pestered as he comes by Lillimo. Trap. Out of it for Becker. For three. Dusty Becker.
You can almost see himself rocking himself into his rhythm there and dropping it through cleanly. First bucket for Becker.
Brian Pekarich on the wing for Brainerd. It is 12-8 Mounds View now in the final seconds of the first quarter. Brainerd, Smith, short, Leckband underneath, number 30, broken up by Boken. On the way up, there's no bucket. It was not on the way up. Foul earlier, and with 16 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And you see some of the action inside as Brainerd trying to penetrate that zone, and they've gotten their shots. That one went in after the whistle.
16 seconds exactly to go in the first quarter. 4th team foul now on Mounds View. 12-8 Mustangs, 16-0 to go in the quarter. Brainerd to the ball. Three-pointer, short for Lillimo. Out of bounds, and it'll go to Brainerd. 8 seconds to go. And the Brainerd Warriors, trailing at the moment by 4, will inbounds the ball. Number 42, Kurt Beyer, a 6'6 senior. Into the corner. Double team Leckband. Up high they go. 4.3 in the quarter. Scramble, and that is the end of the first quarter as Mounds View's Brad Johnson just covered it up and held on. That's the end of the first quarter for the 1991 Boys AA Basketball Tournament with a score. The Mounds View Mustangs 12, the Brainerd Warriors 8. Basketball tournament action continues in just a moment.
Bill Heitkamp, the head coach at Brainerd, as we start the second quarter. His team is down by 4. A surprise entry here. They were at one point 500 team. Got it going just before tournament time, won their last couple of regular season games, and then all 3 in Region 8 AA, of course.
Second quarter underway, 12-8 Mounds View. The popper will count for Dusty Becker, and he was fouled in the way. So Becker
he seems to have kind of a subtle little lean in there that he knows how to position himself to get ready to take his shot.
Yeah, I think he knows when he's going to get fouled, and he tries to get himself positioned so he can get a shot off and get the foul also.
We'll have to see if he can keep that body under control in the second quarter. They don't want him to pick up 3 before halftime, and he's such an aggressive offensive player that he might pick up one on that end.
Yeah, he's getting tired, you can see, and he's running the ball real hard. And get too tired, and you're going to start getting some fouls, I think.
Rader gets the ball. Becker unable to make it a three-pointer, but got the bucket anyway. He has a 3 and a 2 so far. 7:39 to go in the first half. 14-8 Mounds View, and the Brainerd Warriors with the basketball. Pekarich on the left side. Working with Beyer. Now Gustafson. Three-pointer doesn't drop for Brian Pekarich, and the rebound comes to Jason Ekman of Mounds View. Mustangs bring it down. Wronski. Becker floating into the corner, and that was picked off by Brian Pekarich of Brainerd. Pekarich for the Warriors for Gustafson. Baseline right, wheeling Smith over the top. Dragged down 3, loose, recovered by Beyer off the side, and the flying rebound to Dave Rodkowicz. They hot run it down to Brad Johnson, and it laid over the top. Misfired completely. Smith brings it back down. Now Gustafson for Brainerd. Class A action coming up in just a little bit from Williams Arena. Stay with us. Karic on a fingertipper over Fire. Gustafson guarded by Ronsky. Now put Karic. Here's Fire. Kurt Fire, the senior. Out of bounds. Boundsby is going to get it. And there's a break in the action with 6:25 to go in the first half at the St. Paul Civic Center. The score, Moundsview 14, Brainerd 8, and the action of the state tournament continues in just a moment. Moundsview leads Brainerd 14-8 as we come back with 6:25 to go in the first half. And the Mustangs and Brainerd Warriors both trying to get their games going here. Bill Heitkamp 16-9. His Warriors just got out of 8AA, but they finished hot on their last 2 regular season games and 3 straight coming in through the region. So they're in a 5-game winning streak coming in. Mark Ronsky now for Moundsview as they work it around tight. Beckman now to the point. Haven't yet tried to get him inside other than just the one occasion. This foul happened on the left side.
If you want an improvement comparison for Brainerd, they lost to St. Cloud Tech by 6 about midway through the season. Late in the season, they lost to them in overtime. And then in the region, they beat them by 18. So there is improvement there.
That's the 14th foul on Brainerd.
Their strength coming through the region was their rebounding and their defensive skills. That's what basically helped them control the game and get them through. Here come the Brainerd Warriors. Kyle Smith, as he shoveled it inside, he traveled. Turnover Warriors. Moundsview with the ball and a 6-point lead.
There's Smith getting out on the wing, and not normally a comfortable place for a big fella.
No, I don't think so. Big fellas like to keep the ball underneath and keep the ball just up in the air, not dribbling all around.
There's the break in the action with 5:57 to go in the first half. 14-8 Moundsview leads. State tournament basketball, wall to wall. Back to you all. 5.5 to go in the first half at the St. Paul Civic Center. Our Class AA quarterfinal opener finds the Moundsview Mustangs leading the Brainerd Warriors by a score of 14-10. Class A quarterfinal action getting set to get underway over at Williams Arena on the campus of the University of Minnesota. Let's swing over there now for Perry Williams and Janet Carvin and get the A bracket underway. Perry?
Well, thank you, Doug. We're ready for our first Class A quarterfinal game. The Rushford-Peterson Trojans against Westbrook Walnut Grove Chargers. Let's join public address announcer Bob Reed and meet the cheerleaders and the teams.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the cheerleaders and mascots for these 2 fine teams. Starting first with the visiting team, Rushford-Peterson. The cheerleaders in order are Karen Backham, Connie Rasmussen, Naomi Nelson, Tammy Goodmanson, Shelley Kingsley, and Jenny DeGeorge. The mascot is Joy Harmgartner. The Rushford-Peterson cheerleaders and mascot. Now let's meet the home team cheerleaders for Westbrook Walnut Grove. Starting with Lisa Bakken, J.J. Halstonson, Meredith Horning, Heather Johnson, Kelly Phillips, and Shelley Wall. The Westbrook Walnut Grove cheerleaders. Now let's meet the reserves. Starting first for the visiting team wearing the light colored jerseys, the Region 1A champion, a record of 26-1, Rushford-Peterson. A 5'10 junior, number 10, Robbie Hyam. 5'8 senior, number 14, Dane Magnuson. 6'2 senior, number 22, Aaron Hungerholt. A 6'1 junior, number 30, Jordy Graham. 6' senior, number 32, Grant Evavold. A 6'3 junior, number 34, Brian Hetlovic. 5'11 junior, guard, number 40, Jeff Gorder. A 6' junior forward, number 42, John Nelson. senior guard, number 44, Jeff Brown. And a 6-foot junior forward, number 52, Rollin Duff. Now let's meet the reserves for the home team wearing the dark colored jerseys. The Region 2A champions, a record of 25-1, the Westbrook Walnut Grove Chargers. A 5'10 junior guard, number 13, Kurt Bakken. 5'10 senior guard, number 14, Steven Jensen. 5'9 senior guard, number 21, Matt Werner. A 5'9 senior guard, number 22, Radislav Rusak. A 6'1 senior forward, number 23, Wayne Kingston. 6-foot senior forward, number 30, Dana Klantz. A 6'2 sophomore forward, number 40, Chad Bakke. A 6'1 junior forward, number 42, Jim Bosberg. 6'2 sophomore center, number 44, Parker Lee. And a 6'3 junior center, number 54, Craig Guerin. Now let's meet the starting lineups for both of these fine teams, starting with the guards, alternating by team. Starting at guard for Rushford Peterson, a 5'11 senior, number 12, Travis Thorne. And for Westbrook Walnut Grove, a 6'2 seat, correction, a 6'5 junior, number 12, Troy Steen. At the other guards for Rushford Peterson, a 5'10 senior, number 24, Eric Bieberdorf. For Westbrook Walnut Grove, a 6'2 senior, number 33, Jewel Erickson. At center for Rushford Peterson, a 6'6 senior, number 50, Adam Larson. And for Westbrook Walnut Grove, a 6'5 senior, number 35, Jason Bakke. At forward for Rushford Peterson, a 5'10 senior, number 20, Brian Dvorak. And for Westbrook Walnut Grove, a 6'4 junior, number 34, Tim Fowler. At the other forward for Rushford Peterson, 6'3 senior, number 54, Jason Dahl. For Westbrook Walnut Grove, a 6'5 senior, number 4, Nick Keogh. Rushford Peterson head coach Tom Dix, assistant coach Terry Pelzel, and the balance of the Trojans official party. Westbrook Walnut Grove head coach Steve Chernus, assistant coach Gary DeBates, and the balance of the Chargers official party. The officials for this game are Gary Southgate and John Miller.
Well, here we go. Barry Williams, Janet Carbonet, and Chris Rupp for you, our Class A quarterfinal action. We'll get this out of the way quickly. I am battling a bit of a cold here, but we will. Barry Williams, Janet Carbonet, and Chris Rupp in Williams Arena. Now wall-to-wall basketball. Let's go over to the St. Paul Civic Center in Doug McLeod for AA action.
Barry, on our TCF Bank scoreboard, it is Mounds View 30, Brainerd 29 with 4 minutes 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And the Mounds View Mustangs working inside as we return to the floor at the St. Paul Civic Center, but the out-of-bounds ball is going to go over to the Brainerd Warriors.
Well, Brainerd has been able to hang right in this game. Most people predicted it would be Mounds View, but hey, it's state tournament time, and Brainerd put together that string in the section region. I get my hockey confused there. Now Brainerd goes back out in front again, and the key to their attack has been their balance. Any one of their guys can score, and Mounds View isn't able to concentrate their defense in one area.
we have a chance, we'll look at some first half numbers that will give you an idea a little bit later on how things went, but a very balanced scoring it was. Mounds View with the ball. Here is Becker with a left-hand dribble, and he was fouled as he tried to get by Aaron Leckband of Brainerd. There's a break in the action with 3:59 to go in the third quarter. It's Brainerd 31, Mounds View 30. State tournament basketball rolls on.
That's how it stood at the half. Some 4 minutes ago, the statistics fairly even. Mounds View getting more shots, but Brainerd having the better field goal percentage. And a lot of people thought Mounds View might have an edge in this game, but it's been even all the way along. What has surprised you about Brainerd? We don't get to see that region much down here in the Twin Cities.
Well, I don't think Brainerd has done much difference than they have done in the whole season. I mean, they're spreading the points out. I believe Kyle Smith leading with 6 right now, but I think that they're playing their tempo ball, and they're going to keep with Mounds View the whole game.
All right, you see Mounds View came out of that timeout looking for Dusty Becker. He got the ball down, posted up, but lost control of it, got it back, and foul called on Brainerd. Look at the inside action there. The pass in low to Becker, and the foul goes on number 30, Aaron Leckband, who's done an outstanding job guarding Becker. Only shot the ball 4 times in the first half. That's far below his normal. He's 2 for 4 from the field.
Mark Ronski in the lineup now again for... Sorry, it's Chris Halverson in for Brainerd. And with 3:37 to go in the third quarter, the Mounds View Mustangs work the ball around. High pass to the corner. Becker for 3. Got it. 3-pointer for Dusty Becker, who averages almost 20 points a game coming in, and now has 12. That's his second 3-pointer of this game. It is 33-31 Mounds View. Ball rejected, and Brainerd will retrieve. For Courage. Here's Kyle Smith inside, and picked off by the Mounds View Mustangs, Monty Boken, number 25. And Boken brings the Mustangs down. Guarded by Gustafson up high on the right side to Rodkowicz. And as Becker went to shoot, he didn't get it away. Foul inside.
They've done a good job of making Becker work hard for his shots. In the last sequence where he hit the 3-pointer, he didn't have to work hard. He was rested. They rotated the ball. He stood on the wing and got it for a rare moment there without a hand in his face, and he dropped it through cleanly. He's a guy that you've got to stay on. Anoka did a great job on him in the region final, but he hit a big 3-pointer the one time they left him open late in the game, and it cost him a trip to the state tournament.
This is Monty Boken at the free throw line for Moundsville. He'll shoot another one with 2:51 to go in the third quarter.
The foul had been on the screen set as they tried to fight through. And Boken sent a pick for Becker. Now another foul inside on Brainerd.
I think this will be on Al Steer, number 40, the junior forward. And Moundsview goes back to the free throw line. This time Jason Ekman will be there. 34-31 Moundsview by 3. 2:49 to go in the third quarter.
Ekman has been very active here for having 3 personal fouls. He blocked a shot a moment ago on the defensive end, went to the board strong that time, and evidently Coach Cowles says let's go full speed, and if we get in foul trouble, so be it.
I think that Moundsview is doing a great job trying to move the ball inside and being able to shoot outside. They're bringing them to take shots from both points of the floor.
Ekman now 5 of 8 at the free throw line in the game. It's 35-31. Brainerd with the ball, and the Warriors trailing by 4. 2:39 to go in the third quarter. Warriors Kyle Smith. Gustafson now on the left side they go. Here's Halverson. One inside for Smith, and it got stripped away in the lane, and Brad Johnson turned it back for Moundsview. Here's Rodkowicz on the left side. Ekman blocked as he went up. Loaded up once, twice, tipped by Rodkowicz again. Ekman is there off the iron. 4 shots and it wouldn't fall. Now back comes Brian Gustafson for Brainerd. Tipped out of bounds, and Mustangs will get it. There's a break in the action with 2:06 to go in the third quarter. Moundsview leading Brainerd 35-31. AA quarterfinal game.
Mounds View with a 4-point lead, a couple of minutes and 6 seconds to go in the third. Ziggy Cowles, the venerable bench boss of the Mustangs, first took a team here in 1972. And there have been several others since. They had the #1 ranked team most of last season, the regular season, and they were matched against Owatonna in the first round.
And lost a good game by a deceptively wide score, 72-59 in the quarters, and lost the next one as well in the consolation bracket. 7th state tournament appearance for the Mounds View Mustangs. Won the North Suburban Conference title again this year. Third straight, I think it was the third straight time for that honor. Mounds View with the ball and off for Becker.
They set a play for Becker from the timeout, but he forced it.
Like I said earlier, I knew Mounds View was going to be heading towards Becker, averaging being their high 20-point leader. And he's obviously doing that now, getting the shots off for the most part.
Foul inside as Pekarich tried to penetrate.
Dropping down inside, we'll watch as Boken comes back trying to help out defensively.
Second team foul on Mounds View. Brainerd has 5. 1:27 to go in the third quarter. 35-31. Mounds View with the lead. Brainerd with the ball. Batted by Becker. And Brainerd will keep it.
Becker tried to make it do a little officiating there. Looked like he might have had a point. Looked like he batted it off the leg of a Warrior, but doesn't get the call.
Brian Gustafson directing traffic for the blue-clad Brainerd Warriors. 16-9 coming in the game. To the baseline right. Pekarich is there and got it.
Every time Mounds View gets a little bit of a gap, Brainerd has been able to answer. Mounds View's had the lead more than Brainerd has, but it has never gotten very big.
Biggest lead in the game has been 6 points. Mounds View had one of those and a 5-pointer earlier. Right now it's down to 2. 35-33. Last minute of play of the fourth quarter. Mounds View pressure deep. And the tip off by Becker did not go.
Becker upset with himself, probably for tossing that air ball up first and then missing on a tap attempt when the Mustangs had control of the board.
Rusty Becker. Dave Rodkowicz now for Mounds View. Here's the long ranger off from Monty Boken. And the rebound underneath to the Brainerd Warriors, Kurt Beyer. Back comes Brainerd. Leaper from the right side over the top for Halverson. Underneath, the foul is no bucket. Foul already called before the shot.
And Brainerd not yet in a position to go to the foul line since they called the foul before the shot. Pekarich has some good moves, low post moves underneath. Clears himself well. A man 6'5".
Dave Rodkowicz drawing his first personal. Wide open on the left side. Kurt Beyer ties the game for Brainerd. 35 all with 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Boken now. Guarded tightly by Gustafson. Here's Brad Johnson for Mounds View. Boken from the point. Give back in. Ekman wheeling, dealing off the iron. And the rebound to Brian Pekarich. Last second to play, and that won't be anywhere near. And that's the end of the third quarter for the 1991 Boys High School Basketball Tournament AA quarterfinal opener. This one couldn't be tighter. It's the Mounds View Mustangs 35, the Brainerd Warriors 35. Wall-to-wall basketball continues in a moment.
From the Lake District, they come to appreciate Channel 9's coverage of the state basketball tournament. Tied. We head into the fourth quarter. Halftime from Class A. Rushford-Peterson 31, Westbrook Walnut Grove 30. So a great game over there as well. We'll take you back there after the conclusion of this one.
Which is anybody's ball game right now. 70 points on the board, evenly split at 35 aside as the Brainerd Warriors work it down. This is Kurt Beyer traveling up high as they came out after it.
Quick hands of the Mounds View defense forced some indecision there and a shuffle of the feet. So each team has come up empty on their first possession of the fourth quarter. Foul trouble, just one fella really. Jason Ekman has 3, the big center of Mounds View. Lots of guys with 2 on each squad.
Dave Rodkowicz to put it in for Mounds View. Out of pressure and right back to Rodkowicz. Blew right around Luckband. Underneath the turnaround for Brad Johnson. It didn't go, and Brian Gustafson hot rods it back for the Warriors. Luckband. Ambush. And it's going to go to Brainerd.
The thing about getting into the state tournament field, it seems like a lot of these guys are trying to get away with the moves they used when they were playing against teams that maybe weren't as big. He's glided to the board there a couple of times as Peterson, and maybe not finished as strongly as he should have.
7:21 to go, 35 all underneath for Brainerd. Twisting out for Carrick. Oh, this one will fall short for Kyle Smith. And will drop on the right side for Al Steer. Steer puts it 37-35 Brainerd. Brainerd bench bellowing for an over and back call on Mounds View's Monty Boken, but not getting it. Here's Boken. Got it for 2. Just had a foot over the line. A 2-pointer for Boken. 37 all, 6:49 to go.
They're playing furious defense against Becker. Somebody's going to have to pick up the slack from the outside. You can see him back off Boken, and he hit it.
Leckbrand underneath was fouled as he went in by Jason Ekman. 6'6" junior, number 50.
He went after it, though, and the bench is aware of it. They may try to spell him here as you see a substitute off the bench. Ekman went up strong and clipped the defender.
I think Ekman's going to have to come down and calm down just a little bit on the credit shot clock. He's got 4 fouls now. He's really helping out the team on the inside for him.
Wronski comes back in off the bench, and Ekman will get a break.
It's a 2-shot foul for Aaron Leckband of the Brainerd Warriors. First trip to the line in the game. He has 3 points now. 6 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the game. Leckband. Start there. Brainerd leading by 1, and will get the ball right back. And there's a timeout on the floor with 6:39 to go. It's a tight one. Brainerd 38 and Mounds View 37. KMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights to the 1991 Minnesota State High School basketball tournament. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this copyrighted telecast are permitted without the written authority of KMSP Television and the Minnesota State High School League. 38-37, Brainerd leads Mounds View by 1 with 6:39 to go in our AA quarterfinal opener. And Mounds View will have the ball. Dave Rodkowicz on the right side for Boker. Wronski for Johnson. Mounds View trailing by a point now. To check up on the Class A quarterfinal at Williams Arena in just a little bit. It's going to be out of bounds, and the Brainerd Warriors will get it underneath, and Al Steer, number 40, the junior forward, will play it in.
Mounds View averaging 70 points a game. That's the best offensive team Zig Collins has ever had, but there's been a lot of good defense played here by Brainerd that has held them down today.
Inside trouble for Kyle Smith to Brainerd, but now the driving hooked up by Brian Gustafson of the Warriors. 40-37, Brainerd by 3. 5:52 to go in the ball game. Becker now on the right side for Rodkowicz, and it's stripped away, and the foul is going to be called on Rodkowicz as Brian Pekarik tried to get out of the trap.
Good helping defense. You can see Pekarik come over there in a battle of 44s, and the foul goes against Rodkowicz.
Now a timeout has been called by Ziggy Calls on the Mounds View bench with 5:46 to go. It's Brainerd 40 and Mounds View 37. Brainerd 40, Mounds View 37, 5:46 to go in this AA game at the Civic Center. We will be back very shortly for the exciting conclusion to this one, but first, let's swing over to the Class A venue at Williams Arena for Perry Williams and Janet Carpenter. 4:42 to go in our Class AA quarterfinal at the St. Paul Civic Center. Mounds View 43, Brainerd 40, and a 6-point run by the Mounds View Mustangs to take a 3-point lead now.
They were down 3, got a basket from Radkowicz, a steal, a foul, made a couple of free throws, and then Ekman came back off the bench. You can see him playing with Foy there. Did they call it on the big fella? Oh, boy.
Yes, on Kyle Smith going in. Ekman, the big guy, was on him, the 2 big 50s.
I got to question that call.
That's it.
That was called from the outside official, and Ekman is gone.
And I think that Ekman's really going to be hurt now that he's sitting on the bench. That was their big man, and they're going to be needing some more height, I think, going inside for him right now.
Well, when he came back in with 4 fouls, he tried to play it a little bit softer. He picked up 1 loose ball rebound. The basket he scored was uncontested in the lane, really a jump shot more than going strong to the board, and he was trying to hold those hands straight up like the coaches coached all those big men, but he must have got a belly bump in there somewhere. And Smith goes to the line. Big break for Brainerd, but he can't cash the first free throw.
Jason Ekman fouls out with 4:31 to go in the game for Mounds View. 15 points for Ekman. The other 50, Kyle Smith nails that free throw, and now it's 43-41. Mounds View with the ball and a 2-point lead. 4:23 to go in the game. And again, Jason Ekman is fouled out for the Mounds View Mustangs. Mark Wronski, number 32, up high, goes to the right side for Boken. Johnson. Wouldn't appear to be a big inside option now for Mounds View here late in the game. 4 minutes to go. Wronski didn't draw anything there. Boken for Becker. Here's Monty Boken. Guarded by Bukarich. All the way in, no, tip nothing. Traveling. And Al Steer can't believe it.
Neither can his coach, Bill Heitkamp. He's up going, hey, we're getting hammered in there. But Brainerd is going to have a distinct advantage on the boards with Ekman out of the game. And they got the ball, but they moved the legs a little bit too much.
43-41 Mounds View, 3:42 to go. We'll be right back.
On our TCF scoreboard, you can see Mounds View, but only by a bucket. They'll have the ball back, trying to work for a good shot. It's been a defensive game. Who do you think's been doing a good job out there, specifically individual?
Well, number 34, Brad Johnson, has been playing, I mean, outstanding inside, stopping. He's their only big man right now since Ekman has fallen out. So I think Brad Johnson is really playing a good game for him, Mounds View today.
Quite a leader as he posts up and takes it right to the bucket.
There he is, Brad Johnson inside. But Brainerd will turn it back down again. And the Warriors, Bukarich had it tipped out. And Brainerd will get it in again. 3:32 to go, 43-41. Brainerd with the ball and trailing by a pair. Brian Gustafson trying to open the right side. Aaron Leckbank. Here's Steer. Double team quickly. Leckbank, baseline right. Smith. Kyle Smith, the junior center, with 3:12 to go, has tied the game for the Brainerd Warriors. Smith now with 11 points.
Bill Heitkamp went right inside. He knows that's where his strength is and exploited it.
Now Brad Johnson gets a big bucket. 45-43 Mounds View. 2:49 to go in the game. Could come down to the last bucket or more likely the last free throws. Brainerd will get it. 45-43. Mounds View leads by 2. Now 2:43 to go in the game. First AA quarterfinal of the day.
Radkowicz almost had the steal.
Gustafson for Aaron Leckbank.
Look at him surround Kyle Smith in there, trying to prevent that easy one.
Little shovel didn't fall for Brian Bukarich, and it's dragged off by Mounds View's Brad Johnson.
Oftentimes when you've got a bigger, stronger team, you might as well put it up on the board and see if your guys can go get it. But that time Mounds did a good job screening off.
Wronski for Radkowicz. Here's Brad Johnson. They put him back inside. Monty Bolkin, number 25 for Mounds View. Mustangs lead by 2. 2 minutes to go. Here comes Wronski to the baseline for Becker. He got it and was fouled on the way in. Dusty Becker driving to the left baseline with 1:50 to go. Mustangs by 2.
When you get inside the defense, good things happen. They don't let Becker alone the whole game. But when Wronski goes in there, someone's got to come to him. He shuffles it off to Becker, who made a nice move, scores it, gets the foul.
He'll be back with a big finish. 47-43 Mounds View with under 2 minutes to go in the game.
Another tight ball game here. Mounds View has a chance to extend it to 5 with Dusty Becker at the foul line. Zig Cowles, of course, had a 2-point game in overtime with Anoka in the Region 4 AA final, and nothing really looks like it went down to the wire for Brainerd in the region, but they beat Alec by 5 in the first game.
Dusty Becker made it a 3-point play. He had the field goal before we came back. 48-43. 5-point lead. Mounds View gets the ball right back with 1:44 to go in the game.
That's what that active defense will do for you. Even though they didn't make a clean interception, Mounds View tipped it. It went off the Brainerd boy and out of bounds. And now I don't think you'll see him take a shot here unless it's a layup.
1:35 to go. Monty Bolkin, number 25. Here's Wronski. And the foul on Aaron Luckband of Brainerd.
Luckband's had an outstanding defensive game as you look at him here. Becker has not been clear very often, and let's take a look at it. That's the guy they would like to get to the foul line if they can. Dusty Becker, their best outside shooter.
You got to give Dusty credit, though, for going through that ball and getting the ball there. He moved to the ball real well and got the foul, and now he's on the line.
That is it for Luckband. He is going to foul out with 1:28 to go in the game. Aaron Luckband leads with 5 points, but as Jim was mentioning, it's not the offense that made the game for Aaron Luckband. It was a very good defensive performance. He fouls out with 1:28 to go. His team leading by 5. And Dusty Becker at the line. His team trailing rather by 5. Dusty Becker at the line for Mounds View. Now makes it 48-43 with 1:22 to go.
Keeps the door open by missing the foul shot. Coach's nightmare.
Late in the game, up for grabs and grabbed by Kyle Smith. Brainerd with the ball, trailing by 5. Brian Nibby, number 22, is in the lineup for the Warriors now. Shoveled up by Gustafson off. And a foul as they got there at the same time. That was Brad Johnson for Mounds View in there along with Steer.
Well, you cannot let Mounds View get the rebound. Brainerd has to go in there strong, and you can see the hook that will send Brad Johnson to the foul line.
Brad, I think, went in with some good position, though. He had a good position on the ball, grabbed the ball, brought it down, and got hacked, and now he's on the line. Giving him a chance for another 2.
Kurt Byer, number 42, will check in the lineup now for Brainerd. In place of Brian Nibby. Ryan Nibby, rather. At the free throw line, here's Brad Johnson for Mounds View. Shooting 1-1 with 1:02 to go. His team leading by 5. Rebound comes to Brainerd. Another missed foul shot late in the game. Steer with Karich. Karich guarded by Rodkowicz. Cross-court pass. Flyer. A little mortar shot. And it's going to go right back to Brainerd.
Could see some of the athletic ability of Becker getting over there to deflect the shot. Teammates got it and couldn't control it. Brainerd still alive.
50.2 to go. Brainerd still alive, as you mentioned. 3-pointer off the iron for Byer. Underneath, nothing there, and the rebound comes to Mounds View's Rodkowicz. And he is then, of course, fouled right away as Kurt Byer reached in. 38.5 seconds to go. 5-point lead by Mounds View.
Now they'll go to the other end to shoot free throws again, putting it up just a little bit short. Was Steer, and then Rodkowicz gets his hands on it and refuses to let go until the whistle stops action. 38.5.
That is Smith. Kyle Smith drew the foul. It's his 3rd. And number 44, Dave Rodkowicz. Senior at the free throw line for Mounds View.
Mounds was just having trouble on the free throw line. I think that they could have put this game, you know, and a chance would be hard for Brainerd to come back, but missing the one-on-one opportunities is really playing a role on them.
A lot of valuable time ticked away there, and in any event, the ball is going to go to the Mustangs with 27.7 seconds to go. Back in the lineup, number 22, Ryan Nibby for Brainerd, 48-43 Mounds View.
Well, you see why coaches do everything they can to stop the clock and put them at the foul line, because they might miss. Mounds View would have put it away if they dropped through 6 free throws, but they have cashed none of them. And Brainerd's still a couple of three-pointers away from winning should they get a steal here.
Yep, and anything inside 10-point spread, it's worth doing in the last minute.
Mounds View making it tough on the old coach here.
Well, I'll tell you, if Brainerd pots a three-pointer here, look out. It'll make it, at that point, a 2-point game. And 20 seconds or so to go. 26.7 right now. Brainerd trailing by 5.
Quickly ahead, and Pekarik is looking to shoot.
Ryan Pekarik. Here's Gustafson. 21 seconds. Gustafson, the three-pointer. Off the iron. Rebound, and Rusty Becker. And he's tied up right away in a foul. With 14.6 seconds to go. 48-43 Mounds View, and a big rebound by Becker.
Well, it's not been a smooth last minute and a half. Brainerd can't get the offensive basket to fall, so they can take time out and set up a pressing defense. Mounds View had their chances to put it away and haven't been able to do it, and still won't if Becker can't make these free throws.
Rusty Becker shoots 1 and 1. He has 15 points. 5 for 7 at the line. And they don't drop from the free throw line at all for Mounds View in the final seconds. 10 seconds to go. That's short. Mounds View ball, 8.4 to go. 5-point lead by Mounds View. And the Mustangs get the ball. And Bill Heitkamp with a look of someone who's just about run out of options here in the league going. Take a big steal or a big turnover here, something like that, to pull it out for the Warriors. Even then, they need 5.
Knocked out of bounds. Still Mounds View ball.
5.8 to go now. Mustangs lead by 5. And the quick foul stops the clock with 3.9 seconds to go. Back to the free throw line for the cold free throw shooting Mounds View Mustangs. But nonetheless, they lead by 5 points. 3.9 seconds away from the semifinals, and that picture tells the story. The bench of the Brainerd Warriors.
Well, you're looking at numbers.
Brian Gustafson, number 12, right there, and Aaron Leckband, who fouled out, number 30.
Leckband is
a couple starters.
Really dejected. There's no more helpless position than having used up your foul allotment and not being able to help your team fight back. That's 5 1-and-1s they missed in the last minute.
It's the iron, and that is the end of the game. Mounds View Mustangs have held on and are in the semifinals tomorrow afternoon. On our TCF Bank scoreboard, the final score: the Mounds View Mustangs 48 and the Brainerd Warriors 43. And the 1991 Boys State High School basketball tournament continues in a moment.